So bring me up to speed on this. I want you to talk about it from your perspective. How do you feel about
The Rock.
the just in general? Talk us through it. What happened at Royal Rumble coming up to now? What's up?
Okay, so Royal Rumble, fucking great, right?
He went there.
Cody Rhodes wins the yeah. Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble match. Everyone's happy. Well, most people were happy. There were some people pissed that CM Punk didn't win, but
The fossils
it was
amongst
probably
us.
planned months ahead. Yeah, it was probably planned months ahead for Cody to win. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it. They were leading up to Cody versus Roman Reigns 2, the rematch from last year where Cody lost because of interference cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And then so fast forward to Raw, which I also went to. Seth Rollins tells Cody it would be a mistake to challenge Roman again at WrestleMania, and Seth believes that Cody should fight him instead because he is the world heavyweight champion, and they're calling it the workhorse title because Roman Reigns is part time as WWE champion, so
Right.
he's not there all the time, and he only had like 5 matches, maybe 6 total last year, and only
Damn.
about 3 of them were title defenses. So the other 2 were like tag team matches.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's not defending his title very much. So Seth Rollins called his WWE Championship the Hollywood title, the Hulk Hogan title, the guy who's never here title, basically,
Right.
is what he's saying. And then the World Heavyweight Championship is the workhorse title. Just last year, it was calculated that Seth Rollins had 55 defenses last year, both on and off TV. And then in total, since Roman has been champions in 2020, he's had about like 57. So Seth Rollins is like right on his ass about like, how many defenses they have. And Seth Rollins hasn't even been champion for a full year. So he was saying that, Dusty Rhodes, because the whole reason why Cody wants the title is because his dad never won the WWE Championship.
Right.
So he wants to win it for him. And he said that his dream ever since he was a kid was to win the WWE Championship and then give it to his father. Unfortunately, his father passed in 2015, 2016. So, he says, I accept that I can no longer hand it to him, but that doesn't mean I can't win it for him. So he's doing this story all for his father. And the championship that Roman Reigns has is the WWE Championship, the one that Hulk Hogan held, the one that Dusty Rhodes could never get, but he was very close. And so that's the championship that he wants. And so on SmackDown, he did come to face with Roman Reigns, and he did say that after Roman already buried Seth and the entire Raw roster beforehand,
Right.
because he said, he's like, oh, Seth Rollins calls himself the guy, he's the champion, and then Roman proceeds to say, didn't I beat everybody competing for that title? We should call that bracket the loser bracket.
Damn.
And he really wasn't wrong. He did beat pretty much everyone that's on Raw. He's already beaten.
Humiliation.
Yeah. And then so Cody says, I want that title. And he basically tells Roman, is finishing the story winning the championship or taking everything from you? And then he says, he's like, I want you, I want the title, but not at WrestleMania. And then The Rock proceeds to come out,
Bruh.
shakes hands with Cody Rhodes, gives him a hug, whispers something in his ear that obviously the audience doesn't know. And then Cody leaves looking like a broken man. And then Roman and The Rock stare down at each other in the middle of the ring. And then SmackDown goes off the air. And in the moment, the people in the building in attendance were cheering because, it's The Rock. He's a legend. You're not going to not cheer for The Rock, right? But after that moment kind of sunk in, everyone was just like, well, what about Cody? This is a storyline that's been going on for 2 years since he came back. Roman has been champion for almost 4 years. And so it's just, this is the perfect time for Cody Rhodes to finish his story because he didn't win last year and people were pissed at the time, but I think ultimately was fine because it was too soon if Cody would have won last year. And I think it would have while Roman's already the top guy and he's been undefeated for so long, it also would have diminished, I think, the impact of Roman losing if Cody would have just won it last year. But they've been slowly teasing it and slowly building it since WrestleMania of last year that they're going to do a rematch. And then now Cody wins the Royal Rumble and he has a chance, he has a choice of whether he wants to fight Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, but he can fight either world title and main event WrestleMania. And then so for The Rock to kind of just come in and mess up a story that's been going on for 2 years with Cody just feels like a slap in the fucking face to everyone that's been invested.
Tell me
because
about it.
There were teases for The Rock to come back, I think 3 or 4 years ago when Roman made like some kind of offhand comment about him during a promo. And so The Rock and Roman is something that, you know, the fans have been wanting for a while. But it's just now when we don't want him, when we're all so invested in the story between Cody and Roman, it feels like, what the fuck? Like, why is The Rock here? We don't want him right now.
I had a
You know?
entire 5-star fucking course meal in front of me, and you just took it away. You fucking yanked my bib out from my shirt. You took my utensils and just like, okay, serve you a slider now. The fuck, man? You know? I want my money back, face that, you know?
There's a content creator I watch, and he gave his thoughts on the whole, you know, Rock Cody situation on TikTok, and his analogy was pretty perfect. You know, you're sitting at a restaurant and you order a steak, a nice, you know, juicy steak. It's going to be incredible. And then so, you know, you order it and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you know, you can smell it, you know, you're waiting for this steak, you know it's going to be good, but you're getting kind of tired of waiting, and so you go to run a marathon. And then so you go to run the marathon, and then, you know, as soon as you're done, you know, that was a great workout, now I need some water. So you go to get a nice refreshing water, and then the steak comes. But I don't want the steak now, I want the water. So you know, Cody is the water and The Rock is the steak. The Rock could have come at any point in the last 3 years to challenge Roman Reigns, but he didn't. I get it, The Rock's a busy guy, but if you really wanted to main event WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, the opportunity was there. The opportunity was there multiple times. And now, when we're all invested in Cody Rhodes and we're waiting for him to be the top guy and waiting for him to finish his story and becoming the WWE champion, now The Rock comes in when we don't want him to. What the fuck?
Brother, it's like I ordered a lasagna, but I got a hot dog. It's like, I like hot dogs, bro, but I wanted lasagna, bro.
Exactly, yeah, right?
Fuck,
you're watching them cook the lasagna in front of you, and then all of a sudden some dude slides a cheeseburger over to you. Like, what the fuck?
What is this? This isn't what I ordered. Eat it. Okay? And then the fucking lasagna is served to your fucking to the table next to you. You're like, what the fuck, man? It's ridiculous. Shit hurts me, bro.
So, yeah, and then there's a lot of reports. We don't know. We have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. It's honestly, it's just a huge mess because, you know, the main events for WrestleMania were clear. We were going to get Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, Cody versus Roman Reigns, and then CM Punk tears his tricep at Royal Rumble. He gets surgery and he's going to miss WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So now WWE has to change all of their fucking plans. And here comes The Rock to quote-unquote save WrestleMania. Get the fuck out of here with that. It's just like, okay, so one of your main events is screwed up because CM Punk got injured, right?
Right.
You still have Cody versus Roman.
Why not just rebook the Rollins fight? Fucking, I'm sorry.
Exactly. And Drew McIntyre, who's on Monday Night Raw and has had beef with Seth Rollins in the past.
Whoop-de-fucking-do!
He's doing some of the best work in his career right now because he just turned heel not too long ago.
Against CM Punk, yeah.
And, like, dude, he is a savage because he's not only taking the feud on TV, he's doing that shit on social media. He's talking shit about CM Punk every chance he gets.
Oh, yeah.
And his story is so clear as well because he won the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania in the pandemic. So he got his big moment in front of no fans. And it would be so good if they did Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania this year and have Drew McIntyre win so he gets his moment in front of the fans of being the World Heavyweight Champion. And then I think at that moment they should rip it away from him again by having Damian Priest, who still hasn't cashed in his fucking Money in the Bank contract. He's had that shit since like July of last year. Like, bro, when are you going to cash it in?
Bro, never.
So I think, to me, that's like the clear booking decision. Because not only do you have a story of Drew McIntyre achieving his dream, but then that immediately getting ripped away from him. And he could be chasing that belt like easily until SummerSlam this year.
I mean,
but they're not fucking doing that. They want to do Cody versus Seth Rollins. Like, I get that Cody won the Royal Rumble, and so he has to fight a champion, but like, come the fuck up.
Bro.
He was gonna fight Roman. Just do the storyline with Roman.
Let me tell something to Drew real quick, all right? All I'm saying is Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins make perfect sense, and I really like that Damian Priest angle. It's a repeat of WrestleMania 30, which was the perfect ending for that WrestleMania. But Seth Rollins is on the receiving end. If anything, I'd like to see Seth Rollins fucking win that, just so it's a bit of an inverse. But it's either one. Either one works, and they both have good reasons why they should exist. Those moments. Yeah. So why not just fucking do that? You know what I think? I'm going to let you finish, but I'm going to let you finish, and then I'm going to say what I think, why they're doing this. Continue your thoughts. My apologies.
Yeah, so I think the storyline is very clear of what they could have done with Seth Rollins and the World Heavyweight Champion. And then at this point, if The Rock wants to be involved in WrestleMania so fucking badly, make him a special guest referee in Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, and then have him prevent, Roman's lackeys in the bloodline, have The Rock prevent them from interfering, so that when Cody does win, Roman blames The Rock for his loss.
Oh, and then that's SummerSlam!
You could easily build that shit until SummerSlam or Crown Jewel, or what I would prefer, build that shit up for a year and do it at WrestleMania 41, just like they did with John Cena and The Rock in WrestleMania 27, when The Rock cost John Cena the WWE Championship, and then they fought a year later at WrestleMania 28.
They could do that.
And because that feud does not need the WWE Championship at all. I get that the whole storyline with Roman is about the WWE Championship because he needs that championship to quote-unquote provide for his family. But if The Rock costs him that title, it already makes that feud so much bigger.
Right.
Because there's already that, that hate from The Rock from Roman to The Rock. And you build that shit up over the course of the year. They're both part of the same family. So as you're doing it, you could bring in other family members like Rikishi. Obviously, the Usos would get involved somehow. It's a big ass family of wrestlers. There's so much shit they could do, and if they're gonna fast track it from now to WrestleMania 40 in April, you won't have the same amount of nuance and detail in that story if you do it in if you fast track in 2 months. But if you build that shit up over a year, so much shit you could do, so many possibilities.
Plus, with only 2 months of build up, there's gonna be no promotion. There's barely any promotion. Why do you think John Cena versus Dwayne was so fucking massive? It's because it took a year of development. A year of development. From that WrestleMania, the fucking Raw after is all right, John Cena, I'll see you next year. And the crowd went nuts, Just do that.
And it's even a thing of The Rock is obviously a busy guy. He's not going to be there all the time. So whenever he wasn't there, John Cena was talking shit. And then, immediately after on social media, The Rock is talking shit. And so when that road to WrestleMania did come, the two of them talk shit any chance they got in person. And it just made the feud that much more special. And they could totally do that with The Rock and Roman Reigns, but I think they're really fumbling the bag, bro.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
They need to change something.
You know what I think? It's a scheduling conflict. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doesn't want to put in that much time like he did last time. So, what you know what that is, man? So what the fuck is the point? You have to love what you're doing here. And let me tell you something, okay? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does not love the company as much as a John Cena or as much as a Roman Reigns even. I'm sorry, but he doesn't. He was only in it for 3 years, and even though he definitely has a love for it, let me tell something to you, okay? The only reason why he came back in 2010 was to, in the words of John Cena, promote Fast 5. Go fuck yourself. As far as I'm concerned, now that he doesn't have to work as hard to establish himself as he did back then, I don't see him going for an entire year simply because he refuses to. That's what I think. You know, he's not going to drag out an entire story for a year because he'll probably say conflict of interest or scheduling conflict, something like. He doesn't want to. He doesn't have that level of dedication towards WWE, unlike Roman. You know? So,
yeah, and I think it's a good example of like what they're doing now is you remember the Evolution story, right? Like,
I do remember.
I mean,
the
obviously
Evolution
both of us are growing up during that time. So you know the long ass build up they had of Batista and Triple H before the eventual before the betrayal.
And they did it first with Randy, and Randy got destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Triple H talked about this in an interview when that first little hint of Batista and Triple H kind of having beef with one another started.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon wanted to pull the trigger on it right away. It's like, okay, this is a money match. People are going to love to see Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Triple H was adamant about, no, you got to build it up. You can't do it right now. You have to build it up. And I think it would be the same case. If you're doing The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40, the build-up is not going to be there.
Smart man.
The heat, the feud is not going to be as important as if you wait. If you wait and you add more fuel to the fire and make it bigger and bigger with each passing segment, it would be like the biggest match in like decades. Yeah, like
period.
But if you fast track it now, it's not going to have the same amount of weight.
It just won't. And
it's just going to feel cheap.
It's not like the WWE is hurting for money. They're the biggest they've ever been right now. And they just had the UFC merger, which, holy fuck, that brought a lot, you know? And they did the Saudi Arabia deals and whatnot. They are doing amazing right now. The best it's ever been. The biggest it's ever been. So what's up? What's going on? Why are we doing this? Why are we fast-tracking this? Take our time, establish it correctly, and let's make a lot of money next year. So what the fuck is the point? What are we doing here? I don't get it.
And the reason why like the fans really want to see Cody Rhodes win the big one is because it has been clear. He has stated since he came back to WWE in 2022, I am here to win the WWE Championship. He won the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. He's the first person to do that since Stone Cold Steve Austin in the 90s.
Bruh.
It's clear that Cody Rhodes is your next top guy. He's the next John Cena. He is the next top guy to
next Hogan. Lead he's the next company. Stone Cold. He's the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the next Roman Reigns. Yeah. Roman has had his time with the championship, and he's been. People love seeing Roman Reigns. He's a draw. He's one of the biggest draws in the industry. That's why he's held in such a high regard. And him passing on the title to Cody would be extremely important because not only are fans getting tired of Roman Reigns as champion, but Cody is like more deserving of that championship now than he has ever been because he has put in that fucking work.
He has,
not just in WWE, but all his years in the indies, bro. When he left WWE in 2016
because of the fucking booking,
because of the fucking booking, he went from performing to thousands and thousands of fans every single night to performing in high school gyms in front of 15, 20 people at most. But the reason he did it is because he loves the industry and he loves what he is doing. And even now, performing night after night in front of thousands of fans, he stays like 30 minutes, 40 minutes after the show to sign autographs, to take pictures of the fans, because he knows how important it is to them. And we, as fans, are important to him because we are helping him do what he loves. And Cody Rhodes is the biggest he's ever been right now. You have to pull the trigger on him becoming WWE champion. It's been building up for 2 years. You got to pull the trigger.
I agree. Let me pause you right there. And let me say something completely fucking out of the ordinary for any of you Rock people out there. Let me tell you, I love The Rock. But People's Champion? What a fucking disgrace. Slap that shit on Cody. That's the truth. What's up, man?
So many people on Twitter have been saying that Cody Rhodes is the real People's Champion. And it's true because...
Right. Fucking 3 years! 3 fucking years in the industry. A really good 3 years, don't get me wrong. Set the foundation for WWE. I am not underselling that. Alright? But to label him as the People's Champ now? Hell, in 2010? Go fuck yourself. That's untrue. That's dishonest. Yeah. That is false information. Give that shit to Cody. That's the truth. Continue. Oh, and you should have gave that shit to John Cena when he was big. Continue.
Yeah, and just this whole thing with Cody. It's just we all feel for Cody. It's not that we don't want to see The Rock versus Roman. It's that we don't want to see it right
Now,
now. Not when Cody has the most momentum ever going
goddamn
into
right.
WrestleMania. Do not take that shit away from him. Do not take that shit away from him.
That shit pissed me off. And I don't even watch WWE full time. I'm not there watching all the events. I just follow it here and there loosely. And when I heard that, I was like, how fucking idiotic do you have to be to build up a story for 2 years and then just cork it? Just say, actually, never mind. Brother, this has to be a work. Even though there are no signs pointing towards it, it has to be a work. Come on, please.
It has to be a work.
Right?
Like, there's
you cannot
no way.
be this out of tune. Continue.
And it makes The Rock look so... The reason The Rock is getting so much hate is because it looks so bad on him becoming a part of the TKO board of directors.
Exactly!
And a week later, now he's all of a sudden in the main event scene in WWE. He skipped a line, right? Cody worked for that shit for his entire career, and now all of a sudden when he's at the top, The Rock rips that shit away from him. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like... That is not at all. The Rock does not deserve it right now. He has to earn that shit. And earn it by building up the storyline with fucking Roman. Because we know that Rock is not going to start from the undercard and work his way all the way up. No, he's already put in the work during the Attitude Era. And in 2010, no one's going to take that shit away from him. But now, at this point, he is taking the spotlight from younger superstars that have so much momentum going into it, and The Rock is giving that momentum to himself, and that shit is not gonna fly.
Yeah, I can't say that enough. What the fuck,
dude? It's such a brain dead fucking creative decision, and I get it, right? Their fucking WrestleMania season is probably the most stressful time to be working in WWE because you gotta work these storylines, and if someone gets injured, just like CM Punk did, it throws all of your plans off track, and you have no fucking, creative control over that. You can't control when someone gets injured. That shit just happens. And, it's always with the most basic shit, too. I mean, CM Punk tore his tricep taking a DDT. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
You can't prevent it. It just happened, you know?
It happens, and it's not something you can control. And so, like, we get it, right? We get it. There's so much riding into WrestleMania, and they want to make this the biggest WrestleMania of all time because this is the first one under the UFC merger. So obviously there's a lot riding on this WrestleMania. And yeah, The Rock is a money maker. Rock versus Roman is a money match. But the fans just don't want it right now because you're ruining the storytelling that has been told so brilliantly over the past year and a half or 2 years, however long Cody's been back. It's a spit in the face, and we're all pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fucking spit in the face. And brother, I can tell you right now, arguably, do you really think the numbers are going to be that much bigger than they would have been if Cody Rhodes fought Roman? That much bigger? As in, let's sacrifice all of our storytelling. It's irrelevant. This is a big payday. Is it
Before The Rock was even involved, this WrestleMania was on track to be one of, if not the highest grossing WrestleMania.
So what the fuck is going on?
Like...
Thank you for relaying that information, because now you've taken that excuse off the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what the fuck? All right, you know what I think? This is what I think. This is why I think this is all fucking gone, and all of a sudden it's happening. Okay, a combination of two things. Okay, one, Rock is definitely pushing for this. Obviously, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and his fucking his little girl ego. It's all over the fucking place. I was about to say big boy ego, but that's not what it is. Okay, so and his little girl ego, he's obviously pushing this. Okay, and hey. It is what it is. You have the liberty to push things, all right? Doesn't mean you should be fucking accepted. At least not yet, all right? But, and this is the big but, what I think is the biggest contributing factor to this is the recent allegations against Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Brother, I read through some of the case files. I didn't read through all of it because, it's 160 pages. It's like, I just need a feel. All right, I'm not saying that he's guilty or not. I'm not saying that there's evidence against him. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that these allegations are pretty goddamn sticky. Yeah. These allegations are pretty fucking hefty. And brother, they are backed the fuck up. 160-page fucking case file PDF document? That's not out of thin air. That's not allegations, all right, through Twitter or some shit. That's a fucking lawsuit, and brother, it's gonna do some damage, all right? So
Not just to Vince, but to all of WWE.
All of WWE. So what I'm thinking is that they did this as as Rock's pushing it, but also another contributing factor, probably the biggest one, is the Vincent Kennedy McMahon allegations. Brother, they need a distraction. Big time. And as the guy, one of my favorite informational YouTubers out there, the Wade Concept on YouTube, he made an observation that I really enjoyed and that I astutely agree with. Brother, if The Rock, first of all, we all know that Roman's going to win at WrestleMania, hands down, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. He cannot lose. But if The Rock were to actually win, you have officially killed off the entire roster. They are not good enough. If Rock beats Roman Reigns, you've killed WWE. And that's the truth. Because if Rock is just better than everyone else after returning, brother, you know, the hype for every single person below Roman has been dropped to zero. All that build-up for years about how Roman's the top guy, but he's kind of off. So, like, hey, everyone's watching everyone else, the mid-carders, the whatnot. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wins the title after coming back a decade, 14 years, and he's just some part-timer that comes for one event at the most a year, you have killed the WWE. I understand that you want to follow nostalgia that brings in old viewers that haven't been watching in a while. And, of course, you should do that because everyone loves that shit. Of course we want to see The Rock fight. But brother, let me tell you something to do, okay? At the end of the day, who is your bread and butter? The regulars, the people who watch every fucking event, the people who go on Twitter and speak their mind, the people who nonstop love the WWE and go to your events and watch your TV shows and watch all that shit. All right, you can market to new people, but at the end of the day, you should never ever estrange your core fan base, and that's exactly what they're doing with the Rock versus Roman decision. That's my take. That's it. That's all I have.
That's so true. You know, you killed WWE if The Rock win. It was a brain dead decision in 2013. It will be a brain dead decision now.
Fuck yeah.
No reason for The Rock to win the WWE Championship. Now, if it wasn't for the title, you know, they did this down the line. If they did what I said, you know, do Cody versus Roman now, build up the feud. If The Rock wins later down the line, that's different if it's for storyline reasons,
of
right?
Course, but not the championship.
Back, but not the championship.
Fuck.
It's just, it would be so disrespectful to have The Rock hold the championship.
They made this mistake in 2013.
Everyone in the locker room.
You're right. It would be disrespectful to everybody in the locker room. It would be disrespectful to Cody Rhodes. It's already disrespectful to Cody Rhodes. He's been working his ass off in the indie circuits, like you said, and then over in I think it was is it TNA? That's the one, or is it something else?
He went everywhere.
AEW, that's everywhere. The one. Either one.
He created AEW.
Exactly.
He helped create AEW.
He worked his ass off doing all of this crazy shit, doing his fucking part, all right? And then he comes back just to get shafted like this? Brother, he is the people's champ. Give this man the opportunity, all right? Because I can tell you right now, the short-term minor percentages that you're going to make, the more amount of money that you're going to make from this event is going to pale in comparison with how much you're going to lose after it. That's the truth. So I don't know, man. Whoever made this booking decision, it must be crazy. Must be ridiculous. Whoever signed off on this and said this was a good idea, it must be a work. There is no way.
If it's not a work, this is definitely a TKO corporate decision.
100%.
Because it is very Triple H is so open about what it's like to book WWE and what it's like to be behind the scenes, and you know, like his storytelling process, everything. Triple H is so open about it. He would not make a decision like this. This is not a Triple H thing. They went above him. They went over his head to make this decision. It is clear.
And this is absolutely ridiculous how people just want to make a fucking payday with something that they know nothing about. Because I can tell that the people who book this don't watch WWE on a day-to-day basis. They don't care.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell something to you. Right now, this decision that we're on right now, where it's Roman versus Rock, it will not tank the company, but it'll do a few things and it'll make mad fans angry, but it won't tank the company. But if The Rock wins, I don't know. Let me tell you, I love the WWE. I've grown up with the WWE. I have nothing but love for the WWE, and I can't tell you enough that I want it to be eternal. I want it to prosper. I want it to live longer than I do. You understand? Mm-hmm. I love the WWE. I am not talking from a place of malice or bitterness here. I am just talking of from a place of compassion and of common fucking sense. Just do what the fans have been waiting for you to do. Not what they want. What they've been waiting for you to do for 2 fucking years. They want this, but you get my drift. You don't always do what the fans want you to do. But they have been waiting and waiting for 2 fucking years for you to finally come up with an amazing finale. And you fucked it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got it.
It's just ridiculous, man.
I think that's it.
Yeah. It's a shitty situation that shouldn't even be happening.
Fuck TKO. That's what this shit is.
So we'll see what happens with this supposed WrestleMania press conference on Thursday, where they plan to announce the official confirmation of The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But they did also say it is open to the public, so fans are definitely gonna fucking hijack that press conference.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear some of the. Can they ask questions? Can they ask questions during that?
I think only the press can ask questions.
Oh, the press is still gonna slaughter them.
Chanting their ass off.
Of course.
You already know the fans are gonna be chanting their. If it's an open thing, they're gonna be chanting their ass off to the point where nobody can say shit. Yeah.
Of course.
And the reports that came out after Monday Night Raw yesterday are so fucking. It shows how out of touch they are, because they expected the reaction for Cody, right? The hashtag we want Cody. They kind of expected that people were going to feel for him and chant him and make him a bigger baby face than he already is. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, yeah, fine, that's a reasonable thing to predict, because they knew what they were doing. But the fact that they didn't think The Rock was going to get hate for this, what were you expecting? We're not going to watch Cody fucking give away his match at WrestleMania to The Rock and then himself. Not hate The Rock.
And it wasn't even Cody's choice.
Like, dude, how are you? You thought we were gonna cheer for The Rock after this? It's like, yeah, he's been gone for a while. He's a legend. He's well respected in the business. We wouldn't have a lot of what we have without The Rock. But even then, that doesn't mean we're not gonna boo the shit out of him if we don't like a booking decision.
They basically told our favorite fucking babyface in the company right now to fuck off. Let the big boys play. Mm-hmm. That's what they did, and they expected us to cheer. They served us dog food instead of a fucking 5-course meal. And they expect us to cheer. Go fuck yourself. Jesus Christ. I may come off as callous and unintelligible, or at least not somewhat literate, but let me tell something to you. Okay? I think everyone is in agreement when I say this booking decision is not for the greater good of WWE in any respect.
It's not for the great good of anyone, because no one gets anything out of it.
Quick buck. That's what this shit is. Quick buck.
No.